Did you want to start with Mike? Okay. I always like to start with Mike too.
I don't know.
Ooh, Jesus Christ. What'd you do?
About took my shirt off.
I was gonna say, watch her pull it really hard. And her shirt just goes.
So don't do that. Keep it away. So these mics, did they check these already? Are these?
Are the mics good?
These are good.
Okay, cool.
And then which way is on this one? The line.
Hello? Hello? Is it working?
I can barely hear you.
Yeah, it's very quiet.
How about this one? If you talk straight in, it might be okay.
Hello?
I might steal something from you.
Oh,
Your one question is, what are you doing for?
Anyone do anything fun last night?
How much money revenue do you think you're putting towards it? I'm gonna say the story about how you put 1%. Or was that your story?
I mean,
That's your story. That's cool. I might ripple off.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the best.
How's everyone feeling?
Good.
Doing good. Confident.
Hey, I like it.
You guys are the,
How are
you guys
you?
the power panel.
How are you?
All right, guys. Everyone come in to the outdoor living stage. We've got the Deck Builder Power Panel here. Hey! We're bringing the energy. We got lots to talk about. We got 2 panels here. If you guys want to bring us any sweet treats, we'll take them. Come on in, come on in. First session, we're going to give you a lot of marketing tips straight from the source. I'm your moderator, April Edwards. I am a regular columnist at the Deck Specialist magazine, who has put this panel on. And if you guys don't subscribe to the Deck Specialist magazine, we got some issues for you here, right?
Literally.
Got some.
Yeah.
And you could go get those at the front. But before we get started, you have an announcement? No?
No.
Oh, we're
After,
doing that
right
now.
after. Yeah.
Okay.
You have to stick around for the announcement.
Everyone's got to stick around because we got an announcement later. We're going to be talking about crafting creative marketing campaigns. As I said, I'm a columnist at the Deck Specialist magazine. Market Yourself, if you guys have read that. I am. Hold on 1 second here. All right, I got my life together. Everyone else got their life together? Okay. Marketing with Max, crafting creative marketing campaigns. Today we're going to focus on practical marketing insights and strategies to help you generate more leads and long-term growth. I'm April Edwards, founder of Deck Builder Marketers. We exclusively work with deck builders. I'm very committed to this industry. I love it. And I think everybody can agree that each one of us really wants to move things forward, right?
Yeah.
That's why everyone's
100%.
up here. I'm the host of the We Love Deck Builders podcast, so make sure that you check that out. And then recent author of the Deck Builder Marketer Playbook. So stop by booth 4905, or I got a few copies up here if you want one. So we've got a great lineup here today. Catch your guys' own back here for being here. Okay.
Had somebody else.
Including a couple of my clients that I'm proud that are up here. So again, we're really here because we want to set standards in the industry. And so last year, the panel was very successful. We're bringing you 2 more this year. And I think you guys are going to get some juicy nuggets. I really like questions. And so I want you guys to raise your hand in between. That way we don't get too far ahead of ourselves, and we can make sure that this session is catered to your needs. We will have Q&A at the end, so write down your questions if you don't get a chance. And then, we can stick around and answer some additional questions if you want. Let's stay for the announcement and part 2 of the Deck Power Panel. So I'd like for each of you just to kind of introduce yourself. We're going to be talking about marketing today, so I think maybe just talking about your journey for a second would be really helpful.
I'm Mike with Mitchell Construction, second generation deck builder. So my dad started in '78 and I got to follow in his footsteps. So it's been super fun. A lot of different stages of building through the years, everywhere from, building houses and then niching down to building decks and a lot of stuff in between. So learned a lot of lessons and also have a column with Andy in the Deck Specialist magazine. We write the tools and technology section. So again, when you check out that magazine, you can see us in there as well. Huge Nadra supporter. They've been super helpful in advancing our business just through networking and getting to hear stories from all these other people and learn from them. So that's my story.
And I'm Andy Henley. My company is Henhouse Decks. I am based out of Akron, Ohio, home of LeBron James, if you haven't known. And I specialize in custom decks. I'm known for the guitar deck. If you haven't seen the guitar deck, you should Google just guitar deck probably, and that comes up, and you should check that one out for sure if you haven't seen it yet. I got my name, even though I have a chicken tattoo, I don't have an obsession with chickens. My name's Henhouse because it's my family name. It's Henley and Greathouse. So I took both those and made Henhouse. So that's where that comes from. So if anybody had any questions on that.
Levi Tippett out of Utah, South Salt Lake City. I own TC Decks. It's not Twin Cities. It's actually Tippett Construction, my general contractor's license name. So I started in about 2005. I got my general contractor's license and was framing, just doing residential and small commercial framing. About 2020, when COVID hit, I got burnt out and was either going to go postal or I don't know. I ended up just selling my framing crew and doing solely decks with just me and one other person. So we've done, I would say, well over a couple hundred decks, specializing in kind of high-end residential new builds.
Great. So, by the way, we're live streaming this, which is pretty rad. So you guys can check out Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube at Deck Builder Marketers and check this out later in case you have to get going. But please try and stick around. I'm curious in the audience here, who is consistently doing marketing? We only got a few people here, so I think we've got some good stuff for you today. Is there a strategy that you have in place that's working really well? No? Okay. And then, do you guys have a budget set aside for your marketing, a % of your revenue goal? Good. Okay, great. All right, so first question.
In the hot seat.
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay. What got you started with marketing, and was there a moment when you knew it was essential for your business?
So yes, I would say there was definitely a moment when I started working for my dad. We didn't have any marketing plan of any kind, except for maybe a truck wrap. That was about the max that we had, and it wasn't really needed in his plan. But once I got involved and wanted to grow the business, my plan included marketing in it. In order to get more leads and get the jobs that you want to get, you do have to market to the people so they know they can buy from you. So that's about when my turning point was, when I realized that if we're going to grow, we need to market.
So you had growth goals.
Yes.
Does anybody else have growth goals? Yes. Do you have a plan to meet those growth goals? Good. Okay, great.
Yeah, I got started with marketing, just marketing myself, my company, kind of more creative, being funny, like doing little Facebook videos. Like maybe I would do one with all my team members, and it'd be like the opening of like Family Matters, right? And we'd all have that stupid little pose and look up with our name. That's kind of how I got started doing it. And then when I realized I really needed to do like invest in marketing is when I wanted to get my company to the next level. I wanted to get I had some really cool projects. I got blessed by getting some cool ones right out of the rip, and I wanted to keep finding that clientele. And although the creativity in my marketing on myself was working, I needed something that would meet those higher end clients. So once I started seeing that, I reached out to actually April, because I'm one of her clients, and that did definitely take me to the next level as far as the marketing goes, for them being able to put me in places. And what I mean by that is like meeting the correct clientele and people that are looking to spend that kind of money for something unique. I didn't have that just by being goofy with certain videos. So that really took my business to the next level for sure.
So I think I'm a little different and unique compared to what you guys have. Like I said, I come from the world of residential framing where it's just a different thing. So I never had to advertise with that. It was always just kind of, you work with your separate contractors. So 4 years ago when I started my decking company, it was kind of an eye opener for me that leads don't just come to you. You have to go chase them. And then the other part was sales. I am not a salesman. So having to learn this new industry, all these new methods, it's been an uphill battle for the last 4 years. So what I've found, after learning the sales, but in order to gain these leads and to go out and seek them, we've had what we call kind of a DIY marketing strategy where, Google's kind of our main source of business, but then we kind of put our hands in all these different pots and see what brings us the best results.
I'm so interested to learn more. So what, and actually, let's just do that. What's your marketing mix look like, and which channels have given you the most impact for lead generation?
Marketing mix. I would say I've got probably about 80% of it is online focused marketing, and 20% is going to be network events, swag, signage, advertisements, and magazines, things like that. But all of that ultimately draws people back to the internet. So whether they see your truck or see your yard sign or see you at a trade show, they're going to go find you on the internet and make sure that you are legit. And so everything falls back to that. What was the second part of the question?
What percentage of revenue do you feel comfortable putting towards marketing?
So right now we're at about 2.3% goes towards marketing. So it's not a huge chunk, and it's not that difficult to add a little bit to your price to be able to market appropriate.
Repeat the question.
What's your current marketing mix look like, and what are you comfortable investing in marketing?
Gotcha. Yeah, so I do a nice blend of social media and then also with Google, and I'm not quite sure all the stuff that she's because she's running my marketing, but I know a lot of it's with Google, and a lot of it comes from like I said, networking. I am hitting that point in my career where I want to separate my business from my own brand in a sense. So I'm finding that I'm marketing myself a little bit more, and my business is being ran by my marketing department, and we're also able to do kind of cool videos and stuff on social media. I for some reason get TikTok leads too, which I never thought would be a thing. I don't even have many followers, but I get people all the time like, oh, we follow you on TikTok. We want to come give us an estimate. Okay, cool. So
sounds like a diverse mix.
yeah. And then as far as my budgeting goes for the marketing, I kind of take Mike's approach here, and Mike and I work close together. We've been buddies for a while, so we actually talk all the time, and I'll ask him, hey, what should your marketing budget be? And he'll go. So if you hear some same answers, it's because Mike and I are like two heads, right? So we're always on the same page to a certain degree. So, but I like to put back about 1% of all my projects. I increased my projects about 1%, and that really covered. I didn't see any like change in my budgets or anything. So
the margins are still good since investing.
Yeah, I also reach out to manufacturers. I'll use co-op dollars as a good way of doing it. Some of this stuff initially when you get on in the marketing world, it takes a while to get it going. So you're spending this money and you don't know if your ROI is worth it. But I would say hold strong. And what helped me with that was reaching out to manufacturers to give me some help co-op wise, because I wasn't really investing my money. I was I mean, it was, but it wasn't, and that kind of allowed me to take that risk. And after that risk paid off, now it's like a no-brainer. I don't even really see the money going out because of how much money is coming in. So yeah, I'm not money bags.
So my strategy once again is a little unique. We do what's called the throw the spaghetti against the wall and see what sticks.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. Except
Mine was
it's the spaghetti with money. So you're throwing all this money at whatever you can. What I found is, definitely put most of our eggs in Google's basket. If I had to, put a percentage on it, I would say probably 60 to 70% of my leads come from Google. And, we've hired some SEO companies to kind of manage that for us. I manage all of our social media. Some other streams that have been effective for me that I've noticed significant increases in is number one would be I have a giant trailer. It's like an 8x20 or something. I did this incredible wrap on it, and I've gotten, all past, there's not a day that goes by that I'm not driving that thing around if someone's not snapping a picture of it. And that's generated quite a bit of leads for me. And then the other, of course, is the age-old word of mouth. You just do a good job, take care of your clients, and they'll refer friends and family. So.
Yeah, I find it interesting. I mean, referrals is always going to be the best lead source, but you have to be intentional about it too. And I think a lot of it has to do with how you run your business and communicate things too. So is there anything that stands out in your approach where you're able to really bank on referrals?
Yes. So one method that we have that I feel has been effective is that at the end, you're always searching for Google reviews. But once again, you're feeding the Google machine, right? So we offer our clients at the end of the job, we'll give them a little gift card, like a cookie shop, that has a QR code that links them to our Google reviews page. So that incentivizes them to kind of leave the Google reviews. And then with that, also we have a referral program on that same gift card that we give out, where it's refer a friend and we'll throw in a free like lighting upgrade or some sort of incentive. So.
Does anybody in the audience have a way of getting referrals you'd like to share? That's worked really well. Or reviews. All right, yeah, go ahead.
We talked to the cocktail, we basically have a systemized program for exactly what it does, where 2 weeks after every project gift shows up, that is engraved with the client's name on it, and your branding on the back. So it's a gift that they're using decades on, and it's delivered with a letter that goes, "Hey Susie, thank you so much for the opportunity to work with you. I know your help is listening, and you all obviously take care of it for you. P.S. Give us a call so we know you got this," and then links the QR code exactly what it's talking about. It's just that if something says around, that's, hey, by the way, anyone you introduce us to business with us, put another piece in the block, phase one, so we can build. If you want to do that without having to build it yourself, let us know.
Nice.
Gifting is good, especially if it's something someone will use. When people throw parties, it takes a little bit of admin work, but just cater a party and then show up, take some pictures of the space, and shake some hands. All right, awesome, thank you. So I do find that marketing is a little bit of a mind shift. If you're really going to go all in and do it right, would you guys agree? You kind of either have to have a goal or some sort of reason to invest your time and
Trust.
your money.
Yeah. Trust it.
in it.
Trust that process.
Especially
of it,
if you're investing.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, what mind shift did you have to start viewing marketing as an investment rather than an expense? And how did this change the way you approach your marketing strategy? Or how did it change your business for that matter?
For me, that was kind of a long process. I would say over 7 to 10 years, I probably learned the hard way. And I tried all these little separate items. Like one guy did SEO, another person did some Instagram posts, and everything was kind of spread out and did it really in a cost efficient manner. But nothing really worked well, and nothing worked together. And you weren't following the guy that was on your website and retargeting them on social media or vice versa. And once I realized that just for a little bit more investment, I could put it all together and have it all work together, it brought in so much more quality leads and leads that for people that actually wanted to work with us. So,
I like to use analogies. So piecemealing your marketing before is kind of like hiring somebody to, do the framing and then put the boards on and then do the lighting. Like you got to work with all different people. That sounds like a real pain. And I can't imagine everybody would share the same vision either.
I think what made me realize that it was more of an investment than the expense was the I value my guys that work for me. I knew that what I was doing was kind of a little more risky, and I couldn't keep them busy all the time if I kept that up. And I knew that I had to invest in marketing to make sure that I had opportunities for my guys to grow within my company as well, which I'm slowly getting there, and that's what I want. I want my guys to succeed, and I want them to have a career where they're proud to work where they're at. And that all starts with marketing, because if I don't have the projects, I can't guarantee that work. And I'm in Ohio, so we work all year round actually with the weather. I mean, there's certain times we can't, but I'm pretty proud that we stay busy as long as we can. And I mean, everybody's got holidays, little mouths to feed and stuff like that. So I find that it's an investment in my guys, really more so than my company, just making sure that stuff's there for them. So
So Mike, you also had motivation when you contacted me. Do you remember what that was?
yeah, so after hearing some of these
I know, the
conversations,
microphone just dropped, right?
Yeah,
That was
right.
good. He's such a good guy.
so one of the big
Suckers.
turning points for when I wanted to start delegating out parts of the business is I personally knew what leads were coming in and how much of those leads I can convert, and that's great. But I also knew when there was a deck to build, I knew how fast I could build that deck. But you realize that not everybody can build that deck as fast as you could. You're the one that designed it and built it in your head and got the permits and ordered the materials. So when you go out to build it, you can build it really fast and really efficiently. But knowing or wanting to grow, knowing that delegation was a must, I knew that I needed a lot more leads so that I could be able to pass the sales off to somebody else and have them succeed, because I wouldn't want to lower our conversion rate so much to the point where hiring a person actually was detrimental to the business. So thanks for that. Forgot about that.
yeah, you're welcome.
So back to your last question, and I told April this before we did this panel, and I'm super ashamed to admit, but I don't know my numbers. I'm terrible at that. Luckily, I have a good wife that is good in the business, so I trust her to kind of take care of those kind of things for me. As far as motivation goes, hunger's my motivation. It starts to slow down, and I look at it from the perspective of the minute we start investing or stop investing into our marketing, you physically see the numbers go down. Like my calls get cut in half. Now, that's to say that I do put money in. I don't know where it goes. Like I said, I'm sorry, but whatever it does, it works.
It's working. Yeah.
Yes, because winter it starts to slow down for us a lot. Like Andy, the climate out there is terrible in the winter, and people don't think you can build that. So what I see is when you start, putting more marketing dollars into it, your leads go up for sure. And then by about April, May, June, it's flooding. So then you're like investing a little bit less. I don't know how that works, and I can't explain it. But it works.
I think that was perfect, and I'm sure other people could resonate with that. You think other people have done? And also, I would say sometimes when you stop doing your marketing, you don't feel it right away.
Mhm.
And then once you do feel it, it's too late. You're like, damn it.
Yep.
Yeah. 100%.
All these decisions we have to make as business owners, right? Anybody else in the audience have any thoughts on that? Any questions? Okay, I'm gonna leave you guys hanging.
I have something else for that
Yeah,
too. You were just
go
since
for it.
we're on that subject, one of the things that I think is important when you're marketing is plan for the future. It might be good right now, and I've thought this way early in my career where I was like, oh, we're so busy. I don't need to spend that money marketing because I have the work right now. But that money you're spending today is going towards next spring, and then that money in spring, down the line. So that I feel is really strong. Like, you got to have that mentality when you're doing it, because if you just stop marketing, it's like every time you've stopped, you have to start over, and it is a process you got to take. Like, I mean, it just doesn't happen overnight. It takes a a good little time for that marketing, for your name to come up on the Google search, and for you to be relevant in your market, and for whether you're doing your marketing or you have a company, they need to understand the competition. So there's a lot that takes. So I would say get on it and don't expect results right away, but keep doing what you're doing, and once those results come in, you're going to be happy that you did it. So it's like investing in your future, really. So. And another mic drop.
I'll come back to that. So someone that's just starting with marketing, what's one area you'd suggest they focus on first for the best results without breaking the bank? Marketing on a shoestring budget.
The spaghetti on the wall.
Well, I would probably say networking would be the most shoestring marketing efforts you could do. You could, for maybe $150, you could join the local chamber and talk to all of the businesses in your area, and all of those people will then know you and trust you and be able to recommend you. And that's something you would pay to do, but I guess you could do plenty of networking without payment as well. So that'd be probably number one for me.
Yeah, for me, shoestring budget. I actually canvassed. I door knocked. I worked for a company before I got in the decking industry, and I took that job because I actually wanted to learn how to be. I'm not a very aggressive salesman, but I wanted to learn how to be aggressive. Only just so I could understand it. I don't know if that makes sense, but so I actually walked around and I door canvassed for a siding and roofing company, and I learned so much just by doing that. I learned how to approach people. I knew when people, everybody wants to say no, right? When you're at a sales appointment, everybody's initial is like, no, no, no. And you just got to figure out ways around that. So that was like my first marketing approach. And then when I started my own deck business, I'd carry my business cards around. I just stop at new allotments and I just canvas and I'd pass out my card. I'd even do the legwork of going in the backyard and quickly sketching something up and just showing them. I was extremely hungry then, I guess I was getting actual hungry, but I wanted to grow my business. And that's kind of how I started. And then one thing leads to another. It's kind of like the whole process of the marketing. It just keeps growing from there. So.
I would say the stringiest of shoestring budgets would be social media. We know plenty of deck builders personally that have made their entire careers, their entire success based off of just posting social media. We've seen the power that it does. For me, I guess I'm not creative, or I haven't dedicated myself enough to be able to just get leads solely from social media, but we've seen a lot of examples of people that Sean with Premier Outdoor Living, that's all he gets. He doesn't do any advertising aside from his YouTube and Instagram pages. So social media, final answer.
So we've got networking, canvassing, social media. What I'm hearing is just like with a lot of things, either you got time, you got money, or you're looking for quality, right? And I think that as your business evolves, you most likely starting with you got more time and money, and then you got more money than time, and then you're looking for more quality than anything, right? So kind of phases of marketing evolution, I would say. How do you handle delegating your marketing, and what's your advice for effectively doing so? And maybe you talk about the journey too. You know what I mean? Maybe you talk about where it was before versus now. If you find that helpful.
Yeah.
Think about that one for a minute.
So for me, I'm not afraid to admit that I'm not very good at following up with. I'm an idealist. I come up with a ton of different ideas, and there's so much spinning around in my head, I just forget to follow up with it. And what really helped me was when I started, and I hired April's company. They take those ideas and they bring them to life for me, and that's something I probably would have never have done. And there's so much value in that because I'm just that flighty person that thinks this way, and I want to move on it. But by the time I figure out I want to move on it, I'm already on to the next idea. And with them, and I'm not pitching her, but to have a team that works with you on marketing is essential. It's like taking off a hat that I don't have to wear anymore, and I can just be me. And then that marketing allows me to take my company and my vision in the direction I want it to go. So.
Repeat the question.
How do you handle delegating your marketing, and what's your advice for effectively doing so?
That's right. So my delegation I mentioned before is the spaghetti at the wall. So we try and track our leads as best we can. You know, people sometimes aren't as thorough, but on our website we'll have how did you hear about us. Somewhere very deep in these numbers is a breakdown of where that comes from. Like I said, I don't keep track. I'm too busy building debt. But like I said before, I think the trailer has had a huge impact. You know, aside from Google, everybody just puts Google, but the trailer has had a huge impact. And on that trailer as well, I have a QR code, a giant QR code that links to one side has my Instagram page, and then the other side has my website. So, and then we can tell when people hit that from that QR code.
So a follow-up question for you specifically. How do you make sure that your marketing keeps running even when you're busy with other work?
So that's my wife, like I said, my marketing. So I like to say that I wear a lot of hats, metaphorically and physically. She actually does a lot better at it than I do. She takes on more hats than I do, but she doesn't whine about it like I do too. So she's the one that delegates. She's the one that tracks all that, and then she maintains. You know, even where it's like we've had a bad couple months or whatever, and then it's like, can we afford to throw more money at this marketing? Well, we can't afford not to. So,
Do you guys have anything to add to that?
Should have brought your wife up here with us too.
All right, so can we, what was the beginning question again? Because I thought about that for a minute. I think
How
I
do you
got it.
make sure that your marketing keeps running even when you're busy with other work?
I was gonna go back to the first question. So I think it was, so what, with the delegating of things. So I've had a plan to grow for a long time, and it's really hard to let go of anything. I don't know if you deck builders know how hard it is to let go of like putting the boards down. That's the hardest one. But you know, sales is difficult. Marketing was difficult, and to have somebody to partner with that can produce something without checking in every time, like, oh, is this good enough or that good enough? And you can trust them to promote your company to people, to grow your business without you having to deal with it has been a huge delegation part that I didn't really think of. But to take that off of my plate was a big success. And the second part of the question was,
How do you manage your marketing? How do you make sure your marketing keeps running even when you're busy with other work?
okay, so one thing that's been super helpful lately, and since we started working with April, is even, so you always have a plan to put out a social media post or to keep people informed or to send a follow-up email for a review or a text. All of those things can all happen behind the scenes. They are, well, somebody could set it up for you, and then as you forget about things or you're too busy at a trade show, like, you need to have that consistency going. The post should still be happening on social media. You should still be following up with your clients, and that's been a big help.
Let me follow up on that real quick. It's funny he was talking about that because we were just talking about this at dinner or something of
Breakfast.
being breakfast. I think it was this morning. Staying relevant. You know, I think that's been something. Having a marketing team helps. Is like, yeah, we are here at the show. We're doing our thing. But like just the other day, we had a Veterans Day post. We have posts today up, and it just keeps me relevant with my clients. And I really find a lot of value in that because it's kind of like the business is running itself while we're out doing this and trying to grow ourselves. So
Leverage the power of automation. I had a session
That's
earlier
the word.
talking about advanced marketing.
Automation, that's the word I was trying to
systems
think.
and stuff, like leverage it. We do something where if a client calls and you can't answer their phone, they'll immediately get a text message. It's like, hey, sorry I wasn't able to answer your call. I'll get back to you right away in order to speed up getting an estimate into your, getting, not trying to say, you capture phone. Does anyone have any questions? Because I've got some more questions for the panel, but I want to make sure we're good on time. Okay.
Joe's always good
Joe's always
for
got
at least 6 questions. You got any questions, Joe? You're normally good for hitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So about trying to get good referrals, and you said send a link to your Google review. Have you guys ever thought about, or maybe you already you take those final pictures, maybe hire a photographer to take some pretty amazing pictures, because it just makes that project a lot better, and you can really get the details of it. Send those to your customer, because I think that they would go post them and brag about them. Hey, check this out. I got a picture to show you guys.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I actually saw one of your competitors recently uses his yard signs to take pictures with his clients. Did you see that?
No, which one?
I'll have to tell you later.
What's it start with?
I thought it was a creative idea though, didn't you?
Dream decks?
I'm not gonna say.
Woodland.
Yeah.
Okay. No. Damn it.
So he takes the yard sign and then, like the project manager and whomever is able to walk through, they take a nice picture on the deck and it's got like their
That's it.
branding, I thought that was creative.
I'm gonna take that cut code knife then and
Oh.
one up them.
Oh,
Come on, you got it. What is
your
it?
voice will sound sexy.
It will.
Oh.
Just want to ask a question about referral. As far as referral, whether it's referral or anything for referral. And I will say one thing, 99% of our business comes from vehicles being run. We hardly have to advertise anywhere. They see our vans, they see our trailers, they see our trucks, boom, they're on there. Thanks to you, which is one of our trucks, okay? But that is the best, I think, our business. We did like Shoppers Guide, we started out with other things, didn't get that marketing. But those trucks sell, and referrals sell. So I was just wondering what you feel about getting the referral fee. Is that something you would suggest, or another way to go about it to keep saying thank you?
Did everyone hear her? So she was asking about referral program, like if you give a referral fee, and she was also just stating, and a plug for Lainey over here with Texan Docs, wrapping their trucks, and that's been really effective.
You do a lot of referrals, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah. So I mentioned the one before. So we tried two methods as far as the referral program. The one before we tried, it was like a $200 Amazon gift card. Yes, and that we got a few. I think 2 leads based off of that specifically. The one we tried this year that's been super effective is most, landscape lighting is an incredible upgrade that a lot of people don't pay for, and it's a fairly inexpensive way to upgrade a deck. We've offered to any referral programs, we've actually gone back to 3 of our existing decks and installed landscape lighting in it. Sterilizer lights mostly, but that's been super effective because people don't see the, upfront, you quote them whatever for it, so they think they're getting, this $2,000-3,000 upgrade or something, when realistically it's costing me, $300-400. So.
There he is.
We didn't answer.
6 question Joe.
So just to recap on delegating for marketing, I mean, how important is it to have the guys in the field that are working on the decks, and you guys are doing other things, to take pictures and, to share?
Yeah. Yeah, I've actually just recently started having my guys take pictures of the jobs, and I use those for marketing because I think those pictures when you're outside, like on the field, and it makes the job real. If I have a professional photographer come out, beautiful pictures they take and stuff, but they're not real. Yep, you have a question? Yeah, you've used a drone? Yeah. You know what? And use the drone too on action shots, like when they're out working, like all the guys, the guys set up with the sawhorses, and some guys installing decking, because it puts that project, it puts it real. It doesn't, people can relate. And I also think it's their expectations when they hire you. They see that the job site, it's messy, not in a bad way, but I mean, it's a construction site. If you just keep marketing beautiful stuff and they have no expectation of what to expect when the job starts or during the process, I've ran into that problem myself. And then it taught me that I need to be a little more descriptive of what the job site's going to look like during the project. It was something I thought was kind of stupid, but then it was my fault for not explaining that to the customers, So at first I was like, what a dumb question that these people are asking me. But then it was me to blame, so. Do not talk to their children. No, I wish I could put the some of the kids to work that we work at, because they're all they do is look at us out the window. I mean, I've had to buy like youth small shirts just to give these kids, because they're like our biggest fans out there. That and then retired guys or female or whoever, it's, I tell them though I'll charge 10% more if they're watching, because it makes it a little more difficult. The other thing I keep running into is everybody's got their Ring cameras and everything out there. It's hard to control all your guys out there, and people just have you like they're like live streaming you while they're at work. So it's just a weird, that's where like things are evolving in the field that way. And I don't know what that has to do with marketing, but it's just funny to say, I mean, I think everybody's seen that so far. So I'll take it.
And yeah, I'm crazy about pictures. I ask for pictures all the time. We use a program called Company Cam that they can upload pictures all day long, and I really push that. Like, pictures of everything is super important internally and for marketing. But it's impossible to go out and take pictures of everything all the time unless you're on site yourself all the time. But if you have people building in the field, yeah, I would say absolutely lots of pictures all the time. They don't always have to be perfect, but the more the better.
I was, where'd Joe go?
I don't know.
Who, Joe? 6 question Joe? He's right there.
I had somebody come to the booth yesterday, and we had this conversation, and he was like, yeah, I mean, I know who it was now. Anyway, he was like, yeah, I mean, my guy's not going to take photos. And
That was
I
me.
looked at him,
Yeah,
I
that was
was
me.
serious. And I looked at him and I said, what if you got $100 extra for taking some really good photos? Like, make it a competition, because it is worth the investment. You guys spend so much time on these projects.
Cost me $100.
You need to
Oh.
prove for the world to see it
About
too,
$100 now. Thanks. I owe him $100 now. Yeah.
Can I bring it back to that first original question too?
Do it.
As far as, and in line with the picture question, it's part of feeding the Google machine, right? And getting your name out there a little better. I actually encourage the customers and the clients to post pictures and videos with their Google reviews, because it has a huge effect on getting you up there too, as far as ratings.
Any other questions? We have 1 minute left.
Uh-oh, we got one.
Who's sticking around for the special announcement and the second power panel talking about business? Come on, raise your hands. Just
Chuck, yeah,
Ryan.
we got two. We
Okay,
got
come on,
two.
kids.
We got two.
All right. You guys, thank you so much. Oh, you have a question?
Yeah, give her the lady the question.
This is more Brett. Good question. In your experience, having a sales team or marketing, which will come first, or will they come together?
I can answer that one. Yeah. I don't think you could go wrong either way, actually, depending on where you're at with your business. I mean, obviously, I think sales is the most, I mean, you don't need, you could be a salesman without marketing in a sense, right? Like, I mean, I didn't have a marketing team when I was selling decks, but I guess in order to make that sale, I had to canvas. So, as you're talking it out, probably marketing is probably the most essential thing you can do, because people need to know who you are and what you're doing, so you can go ahead and make that sale. So, and I'm looking to bring in another salesman. This will be the first time I've ever thought about that. And I can think that to marketing increases. And I think that I was always hesitant, because I didn't want, going back to, I value the guys working for me, and I want to keep them busy, and I could never keep another salesman busy. And I didn't want them to rely on that as their employment if I couldn't keep them busy all the time. But now I can confidently say, I think going into next year, I can keep this guy busy with and feeding him some leads. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you guys. Let's give them a big round of applause. I hope you guys got something out of this that you could take home. The next panel in 15 minutes is about business. Sorry, I knew I was going to forget it. Elevate your decking business to the next level. And we've got some good questions. I think you guys will like it. So thank you.
Stick around for the special announcement, though.
Yeah. No, it's $100 for taking pictures.
Was that your microphone that the thing for? Mine's still on. I think it's yours.
There's these suckers. Don't
Yeah,
forget
it
this.
is mine.
You don't want to talk crap about April and have that still on.
Well,
your
you guys
collar.
will need it for the next one.
Oh, it's just.
You meant I wasn't sure if you wanted me to run up or something. And did you need me for any of the other ones?
No, I'll come back by.
Okay. Sweet.
I we just told her that.
Lost her in the middle of it. And
Well, unless
I
you're
don't know
taking
how it goes back.
panel.
Oh, yeah. Him up there. We'll come. We'll do it.
Are you on the next panel?
Yeah,
So everyone's still
yeah.
here. Oh, yeah.
We have one more. I'm not sure where he's at.
Here's the back.
Did you see Sean anywhere?
Yeah, I gave him
It's
both
hard-
the shirts.
okay.
I said, here's 2X. He's got Burns 4X. 2X is a bit. Take 4X and put it back in my backpack.
Okay. You say it's hard to hear. We need to turn it up, or
Like back here, you can't hear
Yeah.
anything. I think this speaker is blocked. It's behind the TV.
want to bring it out? Go on, as long as we don't get yelled. Oh, maybe. How? It's, I guess it's really hard to hear over in that corner. We think maybe because that speaker is tucked behind. If you have some of that tape, we could bring that speaker out for the next panel, and we could always put it back. Is that okay? Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
You just instead out of this thing, it's telling me upload in progress.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's okay.
I'm assuming it is. I've done it before with other lives.
What am I doing? Not that. But we can't take pictures of the guys. We didn't get any pictures with the women's panel.
No, just video.
I mean, can I get